As a sommelier, I'm always amazed when I have someone taste new wines how quickly they tend to make decisions on wine. They take a small sip and go, "Oh, I like it," or "Oh, I don't like it." And I just kind of thought it'd be fun to share with you what I go through when I evaluate a wine. There are three things that I do. I look at the wine, I smell the wine, and I taste the wine. And I'd like to just real quickly here kind of go through those steps with you. So why do we want to look at the wine first? Looking at the wine will give us a lot of hints to what the age, the variety of the grape is, and also the growing climate where the wine came from. It can also tell you whether the wine is defective or not. So the first thing that you're going to want to look for is clarity. Is the wine clear or is it cloudy? Does it show a little bit of fogginess in the wine? And that will tell you whether the wine's been filtered or unfiltered, or it will also tell you if it might be something wrong with the wine if it's a little cloudy. Two, you're going to look at the color. Does the color fade towards the rim when you're looking at it, or does it stay more consistent? And if it's a white wine, is it a vibrant color, or is it there are hues of green? All these things kind of give you a hint of the varietal of the wine. The next thing you want to look for is the meniscus. Now the meniscus is not part of your knee. It is actually the rim around the edge of the glass of wine where the wine touches the glass. You'll see, if you'll notice, if you look at it, especially on a glass of red wine, you'll see this nice clear bead all the way around the glass, and that is the meniscus. And what that is actually alcohol that pools right there. And it gives you a clue as to the age of the wine. If the meniscus is clear in a red wine, you can bet that it's a bit on the younger side. If it starts to get stained, it tells you one of two things. One, that maybe the wine is a very big, bold Syrah, Petit Syrah, or a Malbec, or a Grenache, or it will tell you if the wine's been aged for a while. Four is the weight. How does the wine move in the glass when you swirl the glass? Does it move like water, or does it move more heavier like milk? And one of the things that a lot of us, as a teaching tool that I use with weight, is think of the three kinds of milk that are available at the store: skim milk, 2%, and whole milk. And imagine the wine moving in one of those three areas. If it moves really fast and light, that's a lightweight wine going up to whole milk. So milk, that kind of gives you a good visual. The last thing you want to look for are legs. Now, a lot of people have different ideas of what legs tell you, but basically what legs are telling you is the alcohol content. If you tilt the glass a little bit and bring it back, and you watch the tears forming on the side of the glass running down, if they're thin and fast moving, it's lower alcohol. If it's thick and moves slowly, it is higher in alcohol. The next thing we're going to talk about is smelling. Now, you got to get your nose in the glass, okay? I have people in my staff, when I do staff training, they just stick their nose over the top of the glass. Stick your nose in there. Get it wet if you have to, but get your nose in the glass. The next process is smelling the wine. Don't be shy. Get your nose in the glass. Take a good sniff. So many times people just pass the glass under their nose and go, "Oh, that smells really nice." What I want you to do is pay attention to what you're smelling. There are things that you need to look for. The first thing you want to look for is fruit. What kind of fruit are you smelling? Is it orchard fruit? Is it citrus fruit? Or is it berry fruit? And is the fruit green? Is it ripe? Is it overripe? Is it fresh fruit, or is it cooked fruit? There are different things, so imagine all the varietals that you can get from that. I mean, it smells like cherries, but it smells like cherry pie instead of fresh cherries. So that's one of the things you can look for. The next thing you want to pay attention for is the fruit might be like the main course here. Now there's things on the edges, and those things on the edges might be a floral or spice component. Maybe you're getting a touch of rose petal, or you're getting some clove or cinnamon over here. And pay attention to the spice and floral component. Is it subtle, or is it fighting with the fruit? And you want to identify that. And these are all things that add to the enjoyment of wine. And then thirdly, you're going to smell for earth. Do you pick up minerality in the nose? Do you pick up kind of barnyard smells? Some Italian wines just explode with barnyard aromas, and not for the faint of heart, I might add. So smelling is very important. And remember, the sensory of smell brings out more memories than any other perception that we have, sensory perception that we have. And so don't be surprised while you're smelling wine that you might have flashbacks of your childhood, of smells that you might have smelled when you were a child, or places you were. The next part, and the most fun part, of course, is tasting. So the first thing you're going to pay attention to is the attack. What is the wine telling you at the very moment it enters your mouth? Are the fruit flavors there? Is the wine smooth, or is it rough? Is it tannic? Does it burn with alcohol? Is the wine still, or are there little bubbles in there that you didn't see, and all of a sudden your mouth is picking up these wonderful little frizzante bubbles? The attack is that first impression of the wine. The next thing that you want to pay attention to are the flavors. Do the flavors match the aromas that you identified when you were smelling the wine? Many times you'll smell apple or pear in a Chardonnay, and you'll put the wine in your mouth, and all of a sudden those flavors are nowhere to be found, but you could have swore I smelled green apple, and all of a sudden now I'm tasting grapefruit. Where did that come from? So it's amazing. That's a beautiful thing about wine, is that it can be very surprising. Do the flavors change from the attack? Is the weight what you expected from looking at the wine? Does the wine coat your mouth? Again, think about skim milk, 2% whole milk. Does the wine, flow over your palate very lightly, or does it coat and coat your palate? The next thing you want to look for is tannins. How are the tannins? Are they aggressive? Are they coarse tannins? Or are they powdery? Do you feel them on your teeth, or do you feel them on your cheeks or in your tongue? Where in your mouth are you feeling the tannins? The fifth thing you want to look for is alcohol. Is the wine unbalanced? That's what I mean by this. If the wine is unbalanced and too alcoholic, you'll get a very warm sensation on the palate. You'll taste alcohol instead of all these other wonderful flavors. So pay attention to the alcohol when you're drinking the wine, because if it's out of balance, you could probably find something better. And but to me, the finish needs to finish off long, consistent with the attack flavors, or at least moving me to another flavor that is very pleasing and not off-putting. So to wrap things up real quick here, is that the more that you do an analytical tasting of wine, the better you'll get at it, and the better you will become at bringing these sensations into your vocabulary. And so whenever you get a chance, taste wine, try to expand your powers of detection, and then when you're done doing that little bit of detective work, just sit back and enjoy the rest of the bottle.